So for the audio engine stuff, this week was the Milestone stuff we had to do with all of the demos. All of my stuff is in one demo, so it's all here in the Azul thing here. Yeah, that made sense. So for loading and unloading, you load a audio wave file into the audio file manager. That creates what I have as a wrapper for the wave file information, then puts it in the audio wave file manager. Here, just for holding and for getting and stuff like that and unloading. Pretty basic there. You then can use that sound, just uses the same name, and you create a sound object. The sound object then asks the audio engine to get audio. So it gets the audio rather by file name and loop count or by file name and such. So it creates a audio source and returns it. The audio source is a wrapper for the X-Audio2 audio source, our source audio. Just has all of its features. Then I have a manager that holds that, as well as callbacks that every voice source, source voice, audio source, every audio source has a voice callback. So if you want to use it, you can. When you finish using one, it puts it into the recycled list. If you want a new one, you can take it from the recycled list or create a new one, which is determined by the manager. Buffers, there's only the one buffer that you need, so the buffer manager really just has one buffer, and it gets it and sets it for you. So you can set it with information, load it into your audio source, and then wipe the buffer so that the next time you can put new information in. So all the management is there. You can load in your audio files. Those are all checked for how many things are pointing to them, so that you don't try to delete it while things are still using those audio source, those wave files informations. Then there's the audio sources, and then there's the buffer, and that's about it for like all the basic stuff. Then that's just my MD5 stuff. Handles are on both the sound object, just checks if the sound object is still good. Same goes for the audio source. Has to check every time the user, anything the user side in quotations would be using. Not the user side done yet, but user side stuff has to check for handles to make sure they didn't mess anything up and delete something while trying to use it still. So that's all of the voices, attributes. I will show that I have all those done. Loading and unloading, callbacks. I can play a sound after another one by using a callback. I can also stitch sounds together by using callbacks, which is basically playing one after the other, or by loading multiple sounds into the same audio source sound object. Other than that, the handles I have and the management's all there. So to demonstrate, I can play this sound. I can also pan the sound. I can change the volume. It's between 0 and 100, so third is going to be pretty low. I can change the pitch. So that's all the basic attributes. Then I can play a sound after the other one. So this is a sound, another sound that I've loaded, and I'm going to tell it to play after the other one's done. So that's using the callbacks to play multiple sounds. This is just a handle check because it's trying to play the sound after itself, but sound is destroyed when it's finished playing. This assert is just saying that the handle came back bad, and it's asserting 0. So other than that, I can also say, like, play the sound loop it once after it's done playing. I can then load, so this is loading multiple sounds into one audio source. This is another way of stitching, which is just saying this name and this name. I want both of these files. There's two of them loaded into this source, and then it plays both of them. Well, it plays the one sound, but is both of them together. So other than that, the only other thing to show is the timer. So the timer I have in a separate thread because I wanted to start messing around with threads because I haven't done threading before. So it's not ideal threading, it's not the best, but it works. So I create this shared data, which is just a circular linked list of stuff, which I will change because I know I should be using a head and a tail chasing pointer, but I didn't really understand that until now. So I'll change that. I create it and I name it, and I give it that buffer. Then I can load sound commands into that buffer, and it will play one at 6 seconds and one at 1 second. So this is loading in that one sound command, playing at 6 seconds. This one's loading the other one, playing it at 1 second. The timer thread is just the while loop. That's every 16 seconds. It's checking if anything's been written in. If it is, it adds it to the command, the event manager, and then it calls the update for the event manager afterwards. So the event manager just checks if anything is in the list. If there's something in the list, if it's the front thing at the front of the list is less time than the amount of time that's current, plays that sound. Same goes for all of it. For now I'm just using these things called sound events. I will have to change all of it to commands, but like I said, for now I was just trying to get the threading to work. The timer works with multiple different things, so I can play different sounds at different times in a different thread. So that all works out so that when I want to put it onto one thread, I know how to, I can work towards that, knowing that I already know how to make it work. So that's that. But that is everything for the milestone. So